Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about the Trials of Verse and Vignette, one of the 3 core challenges in the Order of the Written Word. Whether you're a poet, a short story writer, or someone who enjoys both, this is the challenge for you. If you've been following along, you know that I spent quite a few years supporting writers through NaNoWriMo as Montreal's municipal liaison. But since stepping away from Nano due to their stance on AI, I am now dedicating my efforts to the Order of the Written Word, which is all about fostering and promoting human creativity. So today, I am looking forward to talking more about the Trials of Verse and Vignette and offering some practical tips for conquering this unique challenge. Let's get started. Within the Trials of Verse and Vignette, you've got 2 options. You can either write 15 poems or you can write 8 short stories, each between 1,000 and 10,000 words. This challenge is designed to give poets and short story writers their time to shine, whether you're creating a collection of works or simply trying to hone your skills in a specific format. As this was brought up on the Discord server, I just want to answer a quick little question here regarding our thinking behind these numbers. The poems were chosen because it's a good rounded number and an amount you might see in a short poetry chapbook. For the short stories, the thinking was that 2 stories per week is a reasonable challenge. 1 seems a bit limited, and 3 is an amount that could feel overwhelming pretty quickly, with 2 landing at the sweet spot. Considerations were made based on the Stygian Society's work with collections of short pieces and how much time we've observed various shorter works take to complete. If you've ever struggled with staying motivated to finish a poetry or short story collection, the Trials of Verse and Vignette will give you a structured goal to work towards throughout November. So let's talk tips and how to approach this challenge and make it manageable, even if writing poetry or short stories is a bit outside of your comfort zone. A great way to tackle this challenge is by breaking it down into even smaller pieces. Writing 15 poems or 8 short stories in 1 month might sound like a lot, but if you spread it out over those 4 weeks and break them down into segments, it becomes a lot more doable. Here's a suggestion for how to break it down. For poetry, aim to write 3 to 4 poems each week. That way, by the end of November, you will have your full collection. For short stories, plan to write 2 of these stories per week, giving you plenty of time to complete all 8 by the end of the month. Setting weekly goals will help you to stay on track, and it also gives you some breathing room in case you need to take a break or a story takes longer to finish than expected. One of my favorite things about the Trials of Verse and Vignette is that it encourages variety. You don't have to stick to one style or theme for your poems or stories, so you're free to experiment. For poetry, try playing with different forms, whether that's haikus, free verse, sonnets, or something a bit more experimental. Don't be afraid to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and try new things. You might discover that a style you didn't like before or didn't even consider before actually can put your voice out there better than expected. For short stories, you can explore different genres or themes. Maybe one story is a mystery, while another is more of a character study or a slice of life. This is your chance to explore your creativity and try out ideas that you've had on the back burner for a while. Alternately, and especially if you want a cohesive collection by the end, this is a great chance to really dig into a certain topic or theme on a bunch of different levels. Take something like bats. You could write an eerie story about bats in an old haunted house, everything they see going on within it. But in the same collection, you could get more into tales about different kinds of bats, the breeds that migrate instead of hibernate, or even work on a short essay about humanity's interaction with bats over the decades. Right there, you are exploring a range within one topic that still can result in a full collection. For those of you tackling the short story side of this challenge, setting a word count target for each story can give you a sense of direction. Since the range for these stories is anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 words, it's important to figure out what kind of pacing works best for you. If you're comfortable writing longer stories, you can aim for 7,000 to 10,000 words. If you prefer something more concise, stick closer to the 1,000 to 3,000 range. You can also vary your word counts based on the story itself, of course. Some ideas might naturally need more room to breathe, while others can be told in a more condensed format. Like I mentioned in my video about the novelist's initiation, we believe that the primary goal here is to build a routine. You want to push yourself a bit, of course, it is a challenge, but if you come out of this at the end with 8,000 words instead of 80,000, but have also built a comfortable routine that works for you, then you have been successful. Before November officially begins, we are in the crafting grounds, our prep phase in October. This is the perfect time to start brainstorming and outlining your poetry or short stories. Spend time developing your ideas so that when November rolls around, you can jump straight into writing. For poets, this could mean brainstorming different themes or prompts for each poem. What emotions or experiences do you want to explore? Are there any particular forms or styles you want to experiment with? Maybe you need to research those styles. For short story writers, take this time to flesh out some characters, settings, plot ideas. You don't have to have a full outline for each story, but having a basic roadmap will help you to stay focused and productive once you begin writing. A common challenge for writers, especially poets and short story writers, is feeling like every piece has to be perfect from the start. But remember, this is a challenge, and the goal is progress, not perfection. For poetry, allow yourself to write rough drafts. Some poems will come easily in a flash, and others might take more time to refine. The same goes for short stories. Your draft is just the beginning. Don't get bogged down trying to make everything flawless on the first go. You'll have time to edit and revise later, especially if you decide to continue working on these pieces in the refinement ritual next time around. If you ever are feeling stuck during the challenge, remember that inspiration can come from anywhere, especially for poetry and shorter works. Keep your eyes and ears open for moments in your everyday life that can spark a new idea. Maybe a line from a conversation overheard in a coffee shop sticks with you, or you notice a small, beautiful detail during your daily routine. These little moments can serve as the foundation for a poem or a short story. Keep a notebook or a notes app handy at all times to jot down these ideas as they come. Just like other challenges within the order, our scrollwork sessions will be a huge help during the Trials of Verse Vignette. These focused writing sprints are designed to keep you on track and motivated. For poetry, you can use these sessions to draft a new poem, revise a few lines, or experiment with different forms. For short stories, it's a great opportunity to power through a tough scene or work on dialogue. The thing here is to block out distractions and just focus on the writing. And between those sprints, one of the best things is that you can check in with community members to get feedback and inspiration. Writing 15 poems or 8 short stories in a month is no small feat, so be sure to celebrate your progress along the way. Each time you finish a poem or a story, take a moment to appreciate the accomplishment. These small wins will help keep you motivated through the challenge, and by the end of November, you'll have a collection of work that you can be really proud of. So that is the Trials of Verse and Vignette. Whether you're working on poetry, short stories, or both, this challenge is meant to help you build that solid routine, get outside of your comfort zone a little, and encourage you to produce works that truly represent your unique voice. If you haven't signed up for the Order of the Written Word yet, there is still time. The link is in the description down below. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for more tips, updates, and writing motivation through the event. I'll be here to guide you through the process and cheer you on as we tackle this challenge together. I will of course be writing, and I will be coming out with a live sprinting schedule soon enough that will be happening right here on YouTube. And if you want to try out a great writing tool, might I recommend our sponsor, Scrivener. Scrivener is a word processing program and outliner designed for writers. It provides a management system for documents, notes, and metadata, allowing you to organize these notes, concepts, research, and whole documents for easy access and reference. Once you hop on the Discord server, you will have access to a 20% discount to try it out. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and until then, I hope that you are having a day that is just as wonderful as you are. Bye!